the volume, my volume as well.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see if it's already online.
I see the I see it's in the thing, but it's not live yet.
It's live now. It's live. There we go. Okay. Yo, so hello everyone. Hello everyone. How's everyone going? So yeah, finally it's here. The Nomadium 4 tournament. We've been like hyping up in the past weeks. Here I'm getting joined with Prolis here. Say hi,
What's up,
Prolis.
guys? What's up, guys?
So yeah, guys. So after pretty much 3 weeks of actually organizing this, we finally did the page and we actually finally did the tournament. Sadly, Sylvan's not gonna be able to join us for this one because I'm guessing he had to work really late and he pretty much just came, sent me the link, and went to sleep. So let's get over the rules and see what's up here. So first of all, we were talking with Sylvan and some other people of the organizers, and we decided to make it pretty much for 16 players or 16 teams to being able to sign up. Of course, if this reaches to well, like if this actually gets full to 16 players, we'll probably open more registrations. But the idea is to have 16 teams, so we can go through these brackets here. So pretty much, it's gonna be like any past tournaments where you're gonna have two teams playing each other in the round of pretty much like the group stage, which each team pretty much whoever wins two games pretty much making it to the next phase. Uh, so if a team loses the first game, they're gonna of course go to the losers bracket, and then they have to play against other teams that pretty much lost their games as well. And then if they win their two games, they pretty much make it as well. So pretty much anyone that wins the two games, are gonna make it through. Which is I think it's really simple. It's really basic. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be hard to understand. Now what the rules though, which is pretty much what matters the most here. So pretty much me and Silman decided for go for the same nomadic rules from the last tournament. I don't know if these are the same from the first and second one, but it's pretty much the same ones from the third one. Yes, with the small change that we did change some of the maps that are pre-decided for the games. Because I think one of them was Mediterranean in semifinal, but I just we just don't like playing Mediterranean. I think it's a really
Yeah,
boring
full
map.
C maps is just a shit fest. Quite frankly, it's just a boom. Very long games. It's better to have RLM. Everyone loves RLM anyway in Nomad community, so I think that's a good decision.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, we decided to take off that map because it's pretty much just boomy. Even for standard players, it's really boring. So we took that map, and we pretty much replaced that with Amazon, which is it's still kind of boomy, but it's definitely more active than Mediterranean. Um, so for the first maps of the pretty much the qualifiers are pretty much the first three games you play, which is pretty much the losers bracket and the first the two winners bracket pretty much, which is this part pretty much. So we decided to put as the three pre-decided maps, what this means is that whoever loses a game cannot choose a map. They have to pretty much just go with these maps. And then after these three maps are played, pretty much it's GG. Like there's no more games because it's the best of three, pretty much. So the first map is gonna be Sahara, which is I think is pretty much the favorite here. I mean, who doesn't like Sahara? It's the most basic map. It's aggressive map. It's just fun to play and it's fun to watch as well. We're gonna have the second one as Outback, which is also somewhat of a booby map, but can also be really aggressive because it's a really small island map. And then for last, it's gonna be Old World. I guess the note here to say is that you cannot change any of these maps. The maps are pre-decided already. So if you wanna, like I said, if you lose a game and you wanna be like, oh, I don't wanna play this map, well, you have to play this map because that's what we think is like pretty much pre-decided. That's the whole point. Um, but I mean, it's only for the first round. So it's if you pretty much win your games, you will eventually be able to actually choose a map if you lose. Um, Next round, which is the round of 16, we have these three maps. Same Outback, Amazon, Hole. Again, best of three. So if you lose, you cannot choose a map. But we did change the maps a little bit here, so you don't have to like repeat the same maps of the round before if you were playing them good, or maybe you wanted to try something else. Which is going to be Outback, which is again really aggressive and can be boomy, so it's perfect for this. Amazon is somewhat of a boomy map, so everyone likes Amazon. I think it's really chill. You always have wood. You don't have to be luck dependent on if you're spawn or whatever. And then Waterhole, which is like one of the most hated maps, but it's actually really fun to play. Like when you actually get good at it. So why not?
Also, I think something to add, knowing the maps already, you can, if you have a team, you can start strategizing. You can look at the tier list, which we will show you in a little bit. So you can start strategizing. What nations can we use? What nations do we want to save? For example, Old World. Which nations should we use in Sahara? Stuff like that. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the whole point of this is to make it as more interesting as possible and actually bring some strategy to the pool, to the map pool. Because like normally, if you play a game and then you lose, I mean, you don't even know what map you're gonna play, right? Because it's the decision of your opponent. So here, at least, you already know like the maps you're gonna play, so you can already practice beforehand coming to these matchups. So there's always a surprise factor, that of maybe a special strategy you guys do. Maybe there's some nations you guys want to practice on each map. So I think this is a good idea to pretty much make it as more balanced as possible for the first rounds, of course, because the first rounds maybe you play against a better team, but you already know what map you guys are playing, so maybe you can actually practice that map with some nations, and then you can bring some crazy strategy that might actually win you the game. But yeah, this sort of set. We still don't know because we did talk with some people pretty much after we made the rules that we don't know if we're gonna change Hull or Amazon for either one of those. We might change for Sahara again, but that's a maybe. We don't know yet because sometimes with Waterhole, you can have a really bad setup. And that could fuck you up for the last game, right? Because it's a best of three. So let's say you win the first game and then you lose the second game. Sometimes some maps like Waterhole could be a bad map. Sometimes if you have like a really bad setup compared to other teams. So we want to make it the most balanced as possible. So we don't know about that, but we'll keep it like that, like this right now. Then the next round is where it becomes interesting because it's a semifinal, of course, but also because it goes to a best of five and there's only one pre-decided map, which means that the first map is Amazon, and then after that, pretty much it can be any map, which is going to be actually more interesting because then now you don't know what map they're going to pick. You don't know like what's going to happen. So here's where you pretty
Can you
much
also pick a sea map like Mediterranean, for example?
yeah. So yes,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, that's
So
huge actually.
yes, so we didn't want to have Mediterranean as a pre-decided map, but we do let the people choose Mediterranean or any water map pretty much if they want to play. It can be pretty much any map
British
from
Isles,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. So it can be pretty much any map of the random land map pool, or it can be any water map. It can be east meets west. It can be Mediterranean. It can be pretty much whatever. So this is where it becomes interesting because now these weird maps that no one plays, especially Nomad, you can actually play them if you actually won. So this is where pretty much because I mean when you play on Nomadium, what you're expecting is the highest level of players playing. So I feel like any good player, decent player, is not gonna be like stuck on the 5-7 maps that everyone plays. Like you gotta be out of like you gotta go out. So if you actually practice these maps, you can actually choose them in the semifinals or finals. So you can also practice those maps as well. But yeah, they're totally allowed. And then for the grand final, it's gonna be a best of seven. So semifinal, best of five, final, best of seven. And the only map we decided is Old World, which is a really nice map as well because it's not really aggressive, but it's also not boomy. You can do a lot of plays here. And then after it's pretty much the same. You can pretty much choose whatever map you want for the loser sim. It can be Sahara, it can be Mediterranean, it can be Outback, it can be whatever. Now, the one of the rules here, though, that Sylvan didn't add is that we cannot repeat maps more than twice. So pretty much, let's say that. So let's say that I don't know. Let's give like an example. Let's say that I'm playing the semifinals and the first map is Amazon, and then I lose that game, and I choose Amazon again, right? So if I choose Amazon again, that's fine. But let's say that the other team loses that game now, they can go Amazon again if they want. But then if the other team loses, they cannot choose Amazon again. I don't know if I'm explaining myself right. So pretty much,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So pretty much, every team can only choose one map pretty much when they lose. So they cannot go like they cannot be Amazon and then I lose again. I go Amazon again. Like no, it's only one time. Like I lose one game, I can choose Amazon, and then the other team if they lose, they can choose Amazon, but not again. Pretty much only once, even if it's a pre-decided map. So for instance, another example: Grand Final, Orwell, All World. My team loses, so I can go All World again. And if the other team loses, they can go All World again. But if my team loses again, I cannot go All World again because I already pretty much chose that
That's it.
map.
That's it. That's over for old world.
Yeah,
It's pretty much you can only pick it twice, and it's both. It counts for both teams. So if the one team picks old world, it counts as one, and even if the other team picks old world, that's the second, and then it's done.
yeah, and
No
it's
more
done.
old
So
world.
pretty much one nation, only one map per team, pretty much.
And by the way, I
Yeah.
see it might be only land maps I see here in the rules. The map pool consists of all land maps, so we might be wrong about some
Well,
other
the thing is
maps.
that no, no.
I
So
don't know.
let me explain here. Let me explain. So we were at first we were gonna do it only land maps, but I honestly think right now that if we make it also water maps, that should be more interesting. I think
Yeah, yeah, I don't
because
mind actually at all.
let's be honest, guys. Like who wants to fucking see the same five maps every fucking game? Because I know for a fact a lot of people are gonna play Sahara because it's the most played map pretty much. So I want to see some weird maps played in the semifinals and finals. Of course, if the teams don't want to play those maps, it's fine. But I feel like it's good to have them on the table just in case someone actually practices them and they actually want to try it. I think it will be really fun to watch some Nomad actually in those maps. So that rule we're
Yeah,
gonna change that. So just pretty
it
much any
sounds good.
map is it's available pretty much. Now for the team, I mean for the amount of players per team. So this is a 4v4 tournament. So we're gonna have pretty much 4v4 games going, but there's an exception that if players want to play 3v3 because I don't know, one of them it's out for vacation. I don't know, one of them is lagging really hard. I don't know, one of them maybe one of them is not available to play. I don't know. Yes, for some reason they can make an exception actually and go for 3v3. But we encourage people and teams to try their best to being available for 4v4s as it's more fun and it's more fun also to play and to cast. So it's a 4v4 tournament, but in the
Yeah,
case that we
it's
can,
just
yeah.
classical Nomadium. Always been 4v4. It's only if like a guy misses, something happens, he can't make it, and both teams agree to play 3v3, then we can make an
So
exception
yeah,
for it.
it's totally fine. Like it's totally fine. Okay, so so now the tiers, guys, the tiers. So the tier list is of course in the rules, but I have it right here open. So pretty much how the tiers work, I think a lot of people already know this, but pretty much how the tiers work is that let's say that you have 4v4 going. So let's say I'm Oleg and I'm going tier 1 for the first map. So pretty much for the next maps, I can never go tier 1. I have to go pretty much like this. So I play the first map tier 1. Second map, I'm going to go for tier 2. Third map, I'm going to go for tier 3, and so on, so on. So let's say that it's 4 games. I'm going to play from tier 1 to tier 4. If my ally is tier, I don't know, my ally, let's say Prolis is playing with me, he's tier 3 for the first game. The next game, he's going to go for tier 4. The next game, he's going to go for tier 1, and so on, so on. And we keep it like this. So, first of all, I think it's more balanced when people choose nations. As you don't want to have freaking Lakota, Turks, and Japanese against Spanish, Chinese. It's just lame. It's not balanced. And also like these, we cannot let the best players abuse the fact that they can always go tier 1, right, to carry their team. So you always have to pretty much go from tier 1 to tier 4, and so
Yeah.
on, so on.
Mhm.
which is the pretty much the best way. Now for the game rules, pretty much. Well, for the game rules, I think it's really basic. I think it's the rules we pretty much always do even in casual games, which is you cannot kill villagers when they're building a city. So pretty much, if someone is building a city in your spawn or in front of you, you know you can rush that. Well, send your builds and kill that villager and stop the city. Well, that's pretty much a forfeit game for you because you cannot do that. What you can do though is attack the villager or the city, but you cannot kill the villagers. So that's for that. Another rule that it's really well known is that you cannot, if you're H1, you cannot rush front city or cap with 5 hoplites. So for instance, you pretty much go mill 1 and spam 5 hoplites and you rush. Well, you cannot do that. You can raid, but you cannot take the city. Now, if you H up to this H2 and then you rush a city that is still H1, that's totally you can do that because that's in the rules. You can do that. That's allowed. But you can never take a city with H1 army, pretty much. Now, of course, let's say that you were making army and your ally, let's say your ally, hypothetically speaking, has a tower, right? And they're sieging the enemy city, and he's rushing, but he's H2, guys. He's H2. He's rushing, and you have an H1 army. That's also not allowed, by the way, guys. Because then it's pretty much you're just abusing the fact that you have a spam H1 army, so that's not allowed. Also, you cannot do the rare glitch, which is pretty much having 2 merchants in the same rare, because that's just lame as fuck. I don't know why you would do that, but yeah, that's not allowed. 2 rares in the same rare. Doesn't really matter if it's copper; it's just not allowed. So that's also a forfeit. We're not gonna like ban teams or players. It's just pretty much a forfeit. Like if you do that, you lose the game. You're not gonna lose the round. You're just gonna lose the game. So it'll be pointless to do it. Also, another rule, which is also a really basic rule, is that if one of your allies drops for a reason, and instead of you go for drop player, and you bribe their cap, well, that's also not allowed because that gives you pretty much a free cap sack. And that's pretty much for the next rule as well. So for the drops here, pretty much, I'm just gonna read really fast. If a player drops out during the loading screen or during the early stages of the game is to be rehosted from the lobby and blah 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 blah. I think you guys can read this. I mean, you guys can read that if you're interested. I mean, I think it's really basic. There's not much going on here. Now for the tournament rules, all players on a team must have the same clan tag. Honestly, that's really gay, so you don't have to do that. It's whatever you want to use a old clan tag, go for it. You don't want to do it, don't do it. I'm not gonna do it myself, so you don't have to listen to that. Now, of course, this is a big one. Of course, the smurfing part, because we know some people like to smurf, right? So smurfing, honestly, guys. I mean, if you want to go for it, go for it. But if we catch you, because I feel like the game, the community is not that big to figure out if someone's smurfing. So if we pretty much just catch you, you're pretty much not banned for life, just banned for the tournament, and your team is disqualified. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. I think it's really obvious when someone's smurfing, especially because if they smurf, they're gonna use a noob name, right? So it's really obvious. So you just don't do it. And as far as conduct, it's pretty much being toxic, saying really fucked up stuff, to your opponents just to piss them off or whatever. Of course, if you say GG pussy, it's fine. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. It's kind of funny. But of course, if you're GG the N word, well, that's fucked up. So that's definitely, again, I'm not gonna ban you. It's just you're gonna pretty much, that game is gonna be lost for your team pretty much. Because the thing is we don't want to be having people complaining about someone being toxic and shit, because I know some people are big pussies, so and they won't play the game if you say that. So it's better not to say that. So I'm just gonna have that as a big rule actually, because then some people won't even play, and it then becomes annoying for everyone. Okay, another one which also really really easy is you cannot have more than one team. I mean, why would you do that? You can only have one team. I mean, that's really for smurfing, pretty much smurfing. And then, of course, this one, if a clan enters multiple teams, well as any other Nomadium, you can just and have a number for it, or you guys have like a different name to just identify it's a different team pretty much from the same clan. Captain responsibilities. You guys can read this. I mean, it's really basic. You guys have to schedule your games and send the replays. YouTube chats, pretty much no spoilers. Honestly, guys, like if you want to come to the cast with Sylvan and kind of like be like trolling, like spoiling, like being like a spoiler, like troll spoiler, you can do that. I don't really care. It's kind of funny. But just don't like
I-
just don't send
well,
screenshots though, because that will be lame. Like that's lame. You can join the chat and be like, oh, we lost this, but you're probably lying. But don't send screenshots and then like be like, hey, we really won the game, because then that becomes really lame for the caster. So okay, so that's definitely bannable.
one little detail: always include like a dummy replay. As in, let's say it was a best of three and you only played two matches. Well, if you only send two replays, it's obvious that it's gonna be probably two games played, so it's 2-0, right? So you just add a third replay that's a fake, and then you send it in. That's all I wanted to say about that.
Yeah, you guys have to send it to the Rise of Patience email right here in the captain responsibilities. So pretty much, how many? If you played, let's say, 3 games, or if you played best of 3, you have to send 5 replays, right? Because in total will be 5 games. So
Yeah.
so that's what you have to do pretty much. Even if you want 2-0, you have to still send the 5 replays just to make sure that the caster doesn't know who wins. But I mean that's kind of lame because we know that pretty much the captain sends the replay is always the team that won. so so yeah.
Mhm.
Now about the prize pool, guys. The prize pool, which is pretty much the most important part. So right now we do have we really have money. We have $500 actually right now in Sylvan has them. Like Sylvan has them in his whatever he has. Like I don't know, he's a bank account or whatever. But he has $500. I'm gonna shout out for the donators right now. It's gonna be James Webb, Sap Learback, and Jatin for the moment, guys, and Dark Knight actually, Dark Knight. So if everyone wants to donate, of course every donation is gonna go to the for the prize pool. I will Sylvan will pretty much update this later or put it in the comments of where to pretty much donate for the tournament. The prize pool is pretty much gonna be I don't know if it's here, but it's pretty much first place gets 50% of the prize pool. Second place gets 30% of the prize pool, and then second place gets 30% of the prize pool, and third place gets 20% of the prize pool. So that's pretty much about it. The registrations are of course open right now at the moment. You can already register. If I'm not wrong, can we register? I don't know because I'm not logged in.
Mm, yeah, I'm not logged in either. Let me check.
Okay. Well, anyways, registrations should be open for the next 2 weeks. So let's see the date. So tournament should be starting at the latest by the 25th of September. Of course, there's going to be exceptions. Like let's say we actually get to 16 teams, and there's more people wanting to join. We can maybe make an exclusion and maybe add some couple more days, for people to join, or people that maybe didn't, were busy and they just saw the tournament. But pretty much we want to start the tournament by the 25th of November or September, and the first week is going to be me casting probably, and then after that it's going to probably just be Sylvan and whoever else wants to cast with him. Uh, but yeah, guys, let me open the stream while probably searches that and see if anyone
I
has a
think
question.
Sylvan needs to open up the registration, but it's gonna be fixed by tomorrow. So get your mates, talk about making a team, and hop in and register.
Yeah. Yo, what's up? So Oldie, what's up? Oldie, what's up? Happy Randava, what's up? Pavel, what's up? Smoker. Yeah, Warring States. Yeah, Warring States is definitely a map that you can choose for sure. How to sign up? We will open the registrations ASAP. Probably just message Sylvan to open that. The link is gonna be it's below here. All the way here, Torment. So you can hop in there. You always say the N word. I do say the N word. I agree, but not in tournaments. So, cause I don't want to be banned. Necrophiliac, yeah, bro. Well, guys, is there any other question that anyone has in the chat? So we can give it a minute if anyone has any other question. And yeah, let's get your teams going, guys. Get your teams going. It'll be a really nice tournament. We really hope that we can have no like a really smooth tournament. Not people delaying, people lagging. I mean, the new update did make it better for us, like for the players. So like the games drop rarely now or more weird. So hopefully that will be also add up. And something nice to have this tournament. Is there anything you want to add, Prolis?
No, really, I think that sums it up real nice. I'm excited for the tournament. Nomadium 4, finally, after fucking 2 years, I guess. We're
Yeah,
finally having a Nomadium.
yeah. I mean, if this works, like we intended to for it to work, we probably will host future tournaments, maybe like every 6 months, something like that, to have tournaments going instead of having one random tournament in a year and then nothing for
I
the next
mean,
2 years.
we did used to have like a Nomadium and then half a year later a standard. Then we had half a year later a 1v1. But then something happened. Let's not say what happened. I don't know what happened, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah,
lot
for
of
sure,
people
for
left.
sure. So yeah,
Doesn't matter.
so we definitely want to, like, if this works, because this is the first tournament we're pretty much making with no Jatin, or he's in the tournament, but he's not gonna be organizing it. So if this works, like we intended to do, which I hopefully do work, we will definitely host more tournaments in the future, standard, diplomacy, just whatever. But yeah, guys. So I don't see any more questions in the chat. So in this case, I'm just gonna wrap it up. Thanks for watching, and yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna open registrations as soon as possible. We're gonna tell Sylvan right now. So yeah, get ready for your teams. Last note: registrations are gonna be closed by the Wednesday 25th of September. So get everything ready for pretty much that day. Okay. See you guys. See you, Oldie. Have a good one. Later.